New test results from a few 100,000 4th and 8th grade students nationwide show the disturbing toll the COVID-19 pandemic is having.
An historic setback for America's young students.
They were differentially impacted by being isolated.
We're outside the Supreme Court after the landmark decision that overturned Roe versus Wade.
1 in 5 girls reported being in an abusive relationship.
Imagine being a mom twice before the age of 19.
Sexually transmitted diseases on the rise in the U.S. for a 5th consecutive year.
The CDC issuing a new warning now about monkeypox.
The pandemic has led to more people experiencing homelessness across the country, and teens and younger adults are struggling the most.
U.S. inflation hit a 30-year high last month. Households are feeling the impact.
A growing number of people on the streets are children.
The coronavirus pandemic has only added to the economic strain.
The country government report out this week on pursuing problem among teenagers today.
The existence of our youth is under attack by a barrage of social inequities, but a very capable ecosystem of equity stands at the ready.
Project Success is our teenage program, and there are several different components that are involved with Project Success. We work with young people on sexual health and HIV prevention. We also work on dating violence prevention, and we're introducing a new component, STEM programming, with the idea of helping them achieve economic mobility, so as they enter into adulthood, they can make the choices that they want to, and not the choices that they feel like they have to.
Young people, they have been impacted mentally, spiritually, physically, in ways that our generation has not.
We could tie it to sort of a lack of education and access to important resources. They or their families don't have great experiences receiving these kinds of services or going to health clinics or things like that.
Like me, a lot of these students don't have that family member they can reach out to and say, hey, like, what happens after we graduate?
When they don't have a strong sense of community or a strong village, strong sense of self, and the knowledge of the options that they can have, I think that's where a lot of them struggle.
Stress on a family creates a situation where young people struggle.
As an African-American superintendent, I can tell you firsthand that I dealt with, some racial challenges. Our country right now is at a crossroads, and we are seeing that Black and brown people in general just have not been treated fairly.
Well, Project Success is focused on delivering the social skills to help a teen transition into adulthood. If you look at it traditionally, they can be barriers. Becoming a teen parent can lead to a cycle of poverty.
You look at sort of, like you said, some of the fallout of teen pregnancy. We know that kids who experience teen pregnancy are more likely to drop out of school, more likely to experience poverty, and so those cycles continue. So our efforts really focus on the prevention aspect and making sure that we help, give kids all of the information that they need to make healthy choices for their lives and help kids to have successful futures and to really thrive.
As far as this Hispanic community is constantly growing in the city of Alexandria, the pregnancy rate was extremely high, along with the sexual transmitted diseases. Project Success is basically we're teaching teens to protect themselves if they are sexually active. We educate them. We've done is we've created almost like a soccer league, I want to say, that they can come, have fun, relate, and just feel comfortable.
Soccer, in this case, is the opportunity for them to get attracted and participate. In addition to that, we provide 40 minutes of education before going into the field. So in between achieving goals, preventing early teen pregnancy, and preventing violence, we think that this program is very effective because it combines something that is a challenging topic and also something that is recreational at the same time.
Parents are trusting us with the information that sometimes is uncomfortable for a parent to talk with their child about, especially when, the teens, they think they're knowing things, but also they're teens and they're not really comfortable maybe sharing things with their parents, but perhaps do want to ask an adult a question.
Well, CYEP and the Alexandria Campaign on Adolescent Pregnancy share the same core values. So we want to see youth being empowered, want to teach comprehensive sex education, give them the tools and education that they need to make informed health decisions.
The more that we can do to give young people the knowledge, the skills, the opportunities to enhance and enrich their lives in other ways, the less likely they are to have those, risky behaviors that get them in a situation where there's a teen pregnancy or there's sexually transmitted infections.
Today what we're going to do is reintroduce engineering, and as I've already said, problem solvers.
Now everybody move down slowly and gradually.
Slower.
Slowly and gradually.
Okay. Very gently.
Easy.
This activity is called bull ring, and it's really a team working activity, and we've adapted it to meet our engineering mindset because we want the kids to solve a problem. So right now they are trying to tackle a simple challenge. Like in any engineering process, there is a problem. And their objective is to figure out how to work this process. And while I see some repeated steps, I'm seeing new creativity, new ingenuity. That's what this program is all about.
It's teaching them the skills and concepts. For instance, engineering concepts, communication, creativity, critical thinking, as well as collaboration. These 21st century skills are things that are at times taught in schools, but we want to reinforce that. We want to make sure they understand what skills they need to develop while at school, as well as what we use in the workforce.
In terms of our mission, the addressing of income inequality is what a lot of it boils down to. However, a lot of these kids may not have thought about how some of the other decisions in other areas of their life can impact that. Life's going to throw problems at you. We already know that. We're going to help you try to minimize those problems and get ahead as best as you can.
So for a lot of our minority boys and girls, they're not pushed towards STEM careers, right? They're just tracked towards doing different things in school and really just finishing high school with like the bare minimum degree. So our programs are about exposing them early on so that they can then be on a trajectory to take advanced placement classes.
A lot of the challenges is not having role models in these particular areas. And if you can't see yourself in certain roles, then you may not feel or believe that you can one day do those positions. And I think that's a huge barrier for Black and brown children across the entire country. I think one thing that CYEP is doing is ensuring that we have that representation, making sure that students have the mentorship, making sure that they have the exposure to different practices and strategies, as well as different professions, so that one day they too can go into a STEM career.
We're here because working with Virginia Tech and their Center for the Enhancement for Engineering Diversity, their office, and along with CYEP, just to introduce students into coding, working with microbits, which are little circuit boards, and having them understand the different avenues they can take after high school.
Today was kind of like the culmination of our 5-day long event. You got to see the students' STEM projects that they've been working on all week. And you just got to see all their work and all their design all come together.
Pretty much what they did, they had a $35 constraint for all materials. Their ideas are original. And they got together in teams and planned it out, tested, presented to showing the community what they found.
Having this dynamic, working with the team, collaborating, and seeing this lecture style approach to learning is really good exposure, because I didn't have those opportunities when I was in high school, and I would have really appreciated it.
What's most impressive are the students themselves. So I'm amazed at how much they're involved in, how ambitious they are, and their work ethic. The fact that they put these projects together successfully in 1 week is amazing to me.
And they made all these different devices, from a battery voltage meter to automated water filters to test the voltage and things like that. So these are programs that are important because they reach the students that are often overlooked. Having a program that supports these students will better help set them up for success, help them better set up for their future, and have someone who's actually looking out for them and have the student build that confidence within themselves, like I can do this or I can be successful.
It's about showing them what these opportunities look like, and it all coincides. It's developing strong social skills as well as knocking down barriers to financial success.
So my priority to teach the youth that we work with, I really focus on money management. And money management, we focus on goal setting. So we work on SMART goals, we work on budgeting. There's a tremendous benefit working with organizations such as Capital Youth Empowerment Program. You're never too young to learn about financial health. I think any age, race, sexual origin, everyone needs financial health. From if you make $500 a year to $500,000 a year, you need to know how to manage your money and to really be sustainable for the future.
Really, it's all about diving into those three pillars: teach, equip, and unite. Teaching them, the skills that we know that are going to be valued to them, equipping them with the knowledge and the strategies that we can to help move that process along, and then uniting with their peers. Uniting in the sense of collaborating in the workplace, just socially. All of those things are going to lead to financial advancement in the real world at the end of the day when they're able to put those three skill sets together.
I mean, programs like these are important because kids or youth need to feel seen and heard. They need places to go, opportunities to learn. Without them, they don't thrive.
Like, everybody has moments in their lives where they just need some additional support, and this, I believe, is a bridge to helping young folks get what they need so that they can attain the goals they set for themselves.
Our families need education that's accessible and respectful, and meets them where they are, and uplifts them.
CYP is a really special organization, I would say, from my perspective, and based on all of the work that I've seen them do in the community. They have the ability to reach some of our hardest to reach populations and young people, and I've seen them in action and providing some of these programs directly to the kids, and they're amazing at building relationships.
We're really just getting started with our youth programming. The sky's the limit, and I'm actually excited about the youth that are coming up, because if you think we were doing big things, these kids can do way bigger things with the technology that's coming out.
You know how when you're younger, they always tell you, you can be anything you want. So I feel like it kind of like when you're in your teenage years, that gets lost a little bit. I find it very special and rewarding that we can get to reach out to these kids and say, yes, you can do it. It's a lot more work than what they tell you when you're younger, but you can do it.